Hello everybody, my name is Oral Chaos, and welcome to the table. I hope you all enjoy. So, I'm going to be talking about Xanathar's Lost Notes. It is a companion novel book, which isn't directly owned by Wizards of the Coast. It is made by completely different people, and it's a companion's guide to Xanathar's Guide to Everything. And as long as you ask your DM, I'm very willing to use it, but you have to ask your Dungeon Master if you could use this in your own game. There's lots of different subclasses for all the main classes. This is published way before Rise of the Last War, so of course there's no Artificer in this. And hello there, Tria. I hope you enjoy your stay. So, you get around 2 to 3 more subclasses, and I'm glad you will, or have, actually. Speaking of which, I am going to zoom in for my camera here. There we go. Now it looks better. Alright, so, I'm gonna go over the barbarian paths, and we're gonna go, for 6 of the main classes today. There's also an adventure, which I forgot what it's supposed to be a companion adventure for, but I believe it's for something on Salt. So, we will go to page 6 and talk about also, they have brand new backgrounds too. You could be dead, basically like from Pathfinder, where you could be a dead character if you so chose. You could be a heretic, legendary lineage, polymorphed, or a retired adventurer. There's basically a lot of things that this book adds that isn't in the base Dungeons and Dragons game. As long as you ask your DM and go through it, so that they go, okay, this isn't OP compared to these classes, so it's good to go. Speaking of which, I believe... No. I was going to say something stupid like, say, Bub. We all know Bub, right? Bub, I was thinking Bub was a class from this book, but no, he is a zealot. Of course, he never managed to play his half-orc zealot, but that's okay. The zealots do a lot of damage when they're angry. So we're gonna talk about these barbarian primal paths. So, Path of the Courageous Heart. For some adventurers, their internal reservoir of fearlessness and gallantry might border closer to foolhardiness. An intrepid do-gooder might take the first step down this path by complete accident, meddling in affairs they ought not and finding themselves unable to turn back. Their impromptu effectiveness in battle isn't due to anger, rather matching pluck, tenacity, or stubbornness to shrug off the worst enemy has to offer. These brawlers might not be as graceful as trained fighters, but they're guardians of the weak, what they lack in polish they make up for in valor. Matter at hand. When you choose this path at 3rd level, because this is a subclass for barbarians, you get your subclass at 3rd level, like most martial fighters. You gain proficiency with improvised weapons and unarmed strikes. The damage for these attacks is 1d4 plus your strength modifier. If your improvised weapon is similar in shape and function to another weapon, use that weapon's statistics instead. Basically, you get Tavern Brawler feat, but as a basic class feature, which is really good. Because you could basically take a chair or table leg and use it as a club. Basically, this is 3rd level, while Tavern Brawler can be gained at either 1st level if you're a barbarian human, or for most other races at 4th level. So basically you get it sooner rather than later. Favor of the Bold. At 3rd level, when the adrenaline kicks in, primal instinct propels certain heroes to awe-inspiring feats, seeming to add just a smidge of luck at the right moment. While raging, whenever you make a saving throw, or an attack roll with an unarmed strike, or improvised weapon, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the total. Basically, you get guidance, essentially. Get to roll any d4 for your attack or saving throw, and then then if you miss, but if you get like that 4 or something, and you hit, that's really good then. It's like 3rd level Bardic Inspiration, but a 1d4 instead of a d6. At 6th level, you get Hearty Blow. When you hit with an unarmed or improvised weapon attack while raging, roll 1d4 and add its total to the next damage. This feature increases in potency as you gain barbarian levels to 2d4 at 10th and 3d4 at 14th. Stroke of Inspiration. At 10th level, you seem to stumble upon the right clue, connection, or words, even when you have no idea what is going on. When you fail a charisma, intelligence, or wisdom-based ability check, you can expend the use of your rage to reroll the check with advantage. Which basically means, at higher levels, as you get more uses of your rage, and if you fail any of those specified abilities checks, you can expend the rage to reroll with advantage, which may allow you to pass those saves. Or, ability checks. But anyway, that's actually pretty good. Tenacious Heart. At 14th level, when you make a Constitution saving throw, to remain conscious because of your Reckless Rage feature, you can use one of the following Tenacious Heart options of your choice. You can use only one Tenacious Heart option per round and must decide before you make the roll. I may need to get some water before. Yeah, I need to get some water later. But I will get that after I finish this. Inspiring. You inspiring last stand. I believe that means your. Yes, your inspiring last stand fills your allies with renewed vision. Allies within 30 feet of you that can see or hear you gain 10 temporary HP. Temporary HP is good because it gets used up before your actual HP. Persistent. You won't quit without a fight. The DC of your relentless rage feature is reduced by 5 until the end of your turn. And rallying. Your heroic refusal to die fills your allies with confidence. All allies within 30 feet of you that can see or hear you gain advantage of the next attack roll they make within the next 1 minute. And of course, because rounds are 6 seconds each, regardless how many enemies are in the stack of initiative, it'll be 10 rounds before they lose that advantage. So that's awesome. And advantage is really good because that one of your attacks is going to be a 20 on occasion. Because of course, 20-sided die, 1 out of 20 of that is going to be a 20, or if your specific class is going to be 19 or less. So, Red Reaver. Path of the Red Reaver is a warrior's hunt for meaning in a life born of suffering and violence, not some ritualistic process for raiding cannibals, as inexperienced adventurers might have you believe. The barbarians that follow this path fuel their rage with this pursuit of purpose. But those that live long enough, their discipline becomes almost monk-like in its meditation, chasing their sense of self through the arteries of those that deem worthy in battle, as wizards will live to slack their thirst for knowledge. Barbarians who follow the path of the Red Reaver are usually drawn to the greatest challenge in the field, not for bragging rights in return to tide of battle, but to further discern their place of things of their will. Alright, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna fill a water bottle with water, and I'll leave you with the Zark's Chaotic Adventures. So I will be right back. And hello, again. I am back. Alright, so we will now go over Thank you, Trio. So I'll go over the level 3 stuff of the Red Reaver now. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, your thirst for blood channels the life force of your foes to sustain you. When you're raging and below half of your hit point maximum, hit point maximum is the maximum amount of hit points you have at your level. And for barbarians, their hit dice is a d12. So at 3rd level, they would have 1d12 plus their con, and then, of course, another 2d12 plus double their con. So usually, the potential maximum of a barbarian's hit point maximum, if they have a con of, I'm going to go the average, well, not average, if they have a con modifier of 5, and their hit dice is 12, and they get lucky maximum rolls on their d12, 17 times 3, so 17, yeah, around there. They have a ton of health at 3rd level, as long as they have 20 con for a 5 modifier. So, yeah, 17 times 3. A lot of health, basically. And of course, every time you get hit, as long as it's not a mummy or something, your current hit points are going to go down. So if you get below, if your current hit points goes half of your barbarians are able to get a lot of health as long as certain things are correct. 51, yeah, I'm gonna believe you. Anyway, at the start of your turn, you could enter a devouring rage by spending any number of hit dice as a bonus action. So, at 3rd level, you would have 3 hit dice. And of course, when you use hit dice, they only come back on when you do a long rest. Short rests use up your hit dice to heal you. And of course, at 3rd level, barbarians have 3 rages. So, if you go into a devouring rage, it's smart to only use 1 hit dice, or else you may... well... yes. Oh, and hello, Mug. I hope you enjoy your stay at the table. I'm currently going over Xanathar's Long Notes, which is a supplementary guide. I also need to fix my alerts, so good. But anyway, I'm going over Xanathar's Long Notes, and I hope you enjoy your stay. So, by spending of hit points as a hit dice as a bonus action. For the duration of your raid, your weapons become magical for the purpose of overcoming damage resistances and immunities, and on a hit you regain a number of hit points equal to 1 plus the number of hit dice you spent. On a critical hit, you restore twice that amount of hit points. Your target must have blood in order for you to gain hit points from an attack. At the beginning of each turn, you haven't hit a hostile creature since your last turn. You suffer damage equal to the number you would regain on a hit. Retain your devouring rage and its features. Your devouring rage ends once you reach your hit point maximum, or you exit your rage, whichever happens first. So that was Devourer, and now we'll go over Sanguine Scent, and Bloodhound, Blood of the Pact, and Sanguine Clarity. So Sanguine Scent. Also at 3rd level, your senses become preternaturally tuned to the scent of blood. As an action on your turn, you can draw a breath to immediately track the scent of creatures around you. For the next 10 minutes, you are able to smell the approximate number of living creatures within 60 feet of you. You can differentiate the type, but not the identity of any specific creature. If you know the creature you're looking for and have access to one of these possessions, you can focus solely on that target. While focused, you can't use this feature to detect any other creature but your quarry. When you would make a wisdom survival check to track the quarry, the creature instead makes a wisdom saving throw with a DC equal to 8, your proficiency bonus, and your constitution modifier. So I'm going to go with a 5 con, which at level 3, the DC would be 15, because your proficiency modifier at level 3 is 2. So 8 plus 2 plus 5 is 15. Of course, for lower constitution modifiers, that gets lower and lower. So, and of course, constitution can't go higher than 20. Well, unless you hit a higher level barbarian, but that's a different thing altogether. On a failure, you learn the direction and approximate distance to that creature and are able to follow its scent, even through terrain that would normally cover its scent, like running water. You use this feature a number of times equal to +1, or 1 plus your constitution modifier. When you finish a long rest, you regain all expended uses. You must be able to breathe in order to use this feature. Also, Tria, to answer that question that you posted, long rests are 8 hours and short rests are 1 hour. So usually the DMs want a nice long adventuring day instead of wasting a lot of that adventuring day for waiting for players to get fully healed up by a long rest. So that's why long rests are generally rarer than short rests. Well, in game it's 8 hours. It doesn't actually take 8 hours real time, but that's just the distinction I'm kind of trying to make here. So. Bloodhound. When you reach 6th level, your mystic connection to blood has honed your sense of smell to mythic proportions. The range of your sanguine scent is increased to 120 feet. You no longer need access to a creature's possessions to track it if you have spent at least 5 minutes within 30 feet of your target within the last 24 hours. So within a day, you spend like 5 minutes with your target and then you hunt them down at your leisure. Additionally, you can spend 1 hit die to learn the exact number and general location of creatures in the area, or when focused on a single target. Impose disadvantage on your target's saving throw against being tracked by you, and the range of your tracking ability begins 5 miles for that creature. So, and as your hit dice increases steadily as you level up, because by you reaching 6th level to get Bloodhound, you have 6 hit dice. It becomes easier and easier for the Path of the Red Reaver to work. Blood of the Pack. At 10th level, your wild blood fury is tempered by the bond you share with your allies. While your current hit point total is at least half your hit point maximum, you could expend any number of hit dice as an action to heal an equal number of living creatures other than you within 10 feet of you. On your turn, roll 1 hit die for each creature you target with its feature. The creature regains a number of hit points equal to the result plus your con modifier, minimum of 1. Repeat the process for each creature you choose. Once you use this feature, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion and can't use this feature again until you have finished a long rest. So basically, as of course a level of exhaustion is can only be gotten rid of by taking a long rest. So Blood of the Pack allows you to do like 1d12 plus your con mod of healing to your allies. Of course, a level of exhaustion is I'm gonna. You see, that answer is answered in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I'm gonna do a quick. Yes. Tria, you make it sound like I know the answers in my head, but I don't. I do not know all the rules inside of my head, unfortunately. Let's see. I know. Well, Tria, you are a new player, so that is. Well, what level is your bard? Okay, well, that's not working. So, exhaustion is a condition mechanic Oh, level 4 is pretty good. Some special abilities and environmental hazards, such as starvation and the long-term effects of freezing, or scorching temperatures can lead to a special condition called exhaustion. Exhaustion is measured in 6 levels. An effect can give a creature 1 or more levels of exhaustion, as specified in the effect's description. These are the levels of exhaustion. There are 6 levels. And of course the 6th is death. Disadvantage on ability checks, have speed, disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, hit point max halves, speed reduced to 0, and death. Providing exhausted creature suffers. Another effect that causes exhaustion is current level of exhaustion increases by the amount specified in the effect's description. So basically, if you have like 3 levels of exhaustion, you get all 3 levels of that exhaustion. Yes. Finishing a long rest reduces the creature's exhaustion level by 1, provided the creature has also adjusted its food and drink. Basically, considering it is an RPG, you need to sleep and eat for a while if you want to get rid of more than 1 level of exhaustion. And that's how that works. Sanguine Clarity. Starting at 14th level, your rage becomes focused and precise, rather than wild and wrathful. When you enter a rage, or a devouring rage, you may expend up to 3 hit dice to increase the critical range of your attack rolls for the duration of your rage. For example, you expend 2 hit dice. Your weapon attack scores on a critical hit on a roll of 18, 19, or 20. If you already score a critical hit on a roll lower than 20, due to other class features or effects, this feature allows you to expand your critical range even further. So, basically, if someone, say, allows you to get a crit on 19 by just a base feature, you can get crits on 17 instead. And of course, you can only spend 3. You can't use. Maybe you can. Oh no, you could. Oh yeah, up to 3. Yeah, there we go. And now, Path of Sacred Kin. And this is one of those really cool barbarian subclasses that I actually like from this book. As in all civilizations, stories of life's origin are intertwined with the path of mythical beings consorting among them a grand purpose or boredom. These stories, told since the first sunrise, act as guiding parables when the tribal people faces a crucial juncture in their fate. They tell of times of great peril when a powerful individual emerges from their number, led by a forebear spirit, to lead them to their destiny, for good or ill. So the circumstances surrounding the event could be as simple as the death of a clan's chieftain, as great as the threat of slavery, or even extinction. In most tribes, the elders are aware of the spirit's affinity to their people, but other times they are just as surprised by the mark themselves. When the gift manifests itself, it is easily recognized, often celebrated. There are instances, however, when it is perceived as an omen. In battle, your ancestor spirit courses through you, imbuing your frenzy with the supernatural fury of the spirit, be they celestial, demonic, draconic, or even aberrant in nature. Path of the Sacred Kin. Spellcasting. When you reach 3rd level, you channel your ancient blood to harness the power of your forebear. See Chapter 10 for the general rules of spellcasting and Chapter 11 for the sorcerer's spell list. And of course, these being within Chapter 10 and 11 within the Player's Handbook. Cantrips. You learn 3 cantrips of your choice from the sorcerer's spell list. You learn an additional sorcerer cantrip of your choice at 10th level. Yes, you heard me right. You become a barbarian sorcerer. You can cast spells as a barbarian. Things get really cool. Spell slots. The Sacred King spellcasting table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your spells of 1st level and higher. To cast one of these spells, you must expend a slot of the spell's level or higher. You regain all expended spell slots and finish a long rest. This isn't even a multi-class. You just get sorcerer spells as a barbarian. For example, if you know the 1st level spell, Fog Cloud, and have a 1st level and a 2nd level spell slot available, you can cast Fog Cloud using either slot. Spells known at 1st level and higher, you know 3 1st level sorcerer spells of your choice, 2 of which you must choose Conjuration and Divination spells on the sorcerer spell list. Fireballs and spells stabs the hell out of things of the sort. Or even, this barbarian is using an axe. So, we do that too. The Spells Known column of the Sacred Kin spellcasting table shows when you learn more sorcerer spells of 1st level or higher. Each of these spells must be a conjuration or divination. These are specific schools of magic of your choice, and must be at a level for which you have spell slots. For instance, when you reach 7th level in this class, you learn 1 new spell of 1st or 2nd level. Yes. The spells you learn at 8th, 14th, and 20th level can come from any school of magic on the sorcerer's spell list. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you replace one of your sorcerer spells you know with another spell of your choice in the sorcerer's spell list. The new spell must be of the level of which you have spell slots, and it must be a conjuration or divination spell unless you're replacing the spell you gained at 8th, 14th, or 20th. Basically, this is very, very similar to the Eldritch Knight fighter. Eldritch Knights have a similar restriction when it comes to their spell list. I mean similar because they could only have abjuration or evocation, unless they get other spells. And as you know, 3 spells at 3rd level for this class. 2 of them must be of the kind they're restricted to have. And of course, the 3rd spell can be any spell school you want. And of course, as you get higher in levels, you get more spells of types that you're restricted to have until you reach the certain levels that is set within here. Spellcasting ability. Constitution is your spellcasting ability for your sorcerer spells. Since the power of your magic relies on your ability to harness the magic in your blood, you use your Constitution whenever a spell refers to your spellcasting ability. In addition, you use your Constitution modifier when setting the saving throw DC for a spell you cast, or when making an attack roll with one. Your spell attack modifier is your proficiency bonus plus the con mod, and spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your con mod. So, like I said previously in the stream, no. Basically, because your spellcasting ability is Constitution, it's like how sorcerers, as like a base class, need to use their charisma as their spellcasting ability. You use their Constitution instead. So, ancestral origins. And of course, this table here is the Sacred Kin Sorcerer table. You get up to 4th level spell slots. Well, 3rd level you get Fireball, so. Well, always for that, yeah. And at 3rd level, when you choose this path, you choose the origin of your ancestors. Celestial, demonic, draconic, or aberrant. An aberrant would be like, I believe it would be like mind flayers or aboleths, or basically aberrant type monsters, or whatever. Choose one ancestor type from the ancestral origins table. The chosen ancestor associated with your origin is used by future people leader. To speak, read, and write the language of your ancestor and to read their curses and oaths into your battle crest. Additionally, whenever you make a charisma check, when interacting with a creature of ancestor type, your proficiency bonus is doubled if it applies to the check. So, Celestial, you get damage type, Thunder Radiant, you get Celestial. Demonic, Necrotic Poison, Abyssal. Draconic, Cold Fire Lightning, Draconic, Aberrant, Psychic Force, Deep Speech. So, Aberrant would be anything that knows Deep Speech. Like, say, Mind Flayers. Mind Flayers know Deep Speech. Mythic Manifestation. As ancient magic flows through you, physical traits of your lineage emerge. Starting at 3rd level, whenever you cast a spell, you regain hit points equal to 3 times the spell slot's level. So if you, say, cast a 1st level slot, cast using this 1st level slot, of course, 3 times 1 is 3. You get the second level slot, it's 6, etc., etc. Get exponential growth up to 4 level slots. Supernatural Fury. At 3rd level, you can focus on the magic in your blood, allowing you to concentrate your rage into the ancient magic of your bloodline and enter a supernatural fury. You gain the ability to cast and concentrate on spells, even while raging, at the expense of your physical resistances. When you enter your supernatural fury and you aren't wearing heavy armor, the following benefits replace the benefits of the rage feature. This is in replacement of your rage. You don't get your physical resistances. You gain a bonus to your AC equal to your strength modifier. Now, to the minimum of 1. So, normally, your AC is if you aren't wearing armor and is using your natural armor feature, it is 8 plus 2. No. I actually have to look up the barbarian. Natural armor feature, because I don't want to be wrong. Unarmored defense. Your armor class is 10 plus your dex plus your con. So, example, I'm using 20s in these because it's easy math. So, 10 plus your dex as a 20 is 5, so that's 15, plus your con as a 20 is another 5, so that's 20. And with this, your strength modifier gets added, so that's also a 5, you get 25 AC. And of course, they go lower if you have less than 5. So, and most people don't get a full 5 in any of those scores, unless they're racial bonuses or ACIs allow them to do so. Or ASIs. And the ASI is an ability score increase that you get at 4th level, or you get a feat, and if the GM allows feats. You have advantage on constitution checks and saving throws made to maintain concentration on a spell. Constitution is the ability score you use when you're concentrating on a spell that requires a concentration. You have resistance to magical damage and are immune to the damage type you chose from your ancestral origin. Your supernatural fury lasts for 1 minute, so basically, you chose celestial, you can choose either thunder, radiant, you become immune to damage. Same with demonic, same with draconic, and same with prevalent. Ancestry points. At 6th level, you have 4 ancestry points. You gain more as you reach higher levels, as shown in the ancestry points column of the Bloodline spellcasting table. You regain all spent ancestry points when you finish a long rest. For the Sacred Kin, ancestry points is the same as sorcery points. It's just balanced differently. As represented by ancestry points, they're able to create a variety of magical effects, gain the ability to twist your spells to suit your needs. You gain 2 of the meta magic options of your choice from the sorcerer's list of available options. Basically, you go to the player's handbook and you go to the sorcerer page and you choose 2 of their meta magic options. And when it references sorcery points, you just use your ancestry point instead. You gain another one at 10th and 7th level. You use only 1 meta magic option when you cast a spell, unless otherwise noted within the meta magic. Transcendent Legacy. At 6th level, when you enter your rage. Basically, this is in addition to the ancestry points in magic. You spend 1 ancestry point to imbue your weapons with the damage type you chose from your ancestral origin. For 1 hour, your weapon attacks deal magical damage of that type instead of bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. Basically, if you chose, like, say, Radiant, your weapon is going to deal radiant damage instead of, say, bludgeoning. At 14th level, weapon attacks of this feature ignore resistance but not immunity to the damage type of your ancestral origin. Immunity means if something is immune to a damage type, it doesn't take any damage. And resistance means it takes half damage. It only takes half damage. And of course, there's the opposite. If they're vulnerable to that damage, they take 1.5 the amount of damage. Okay, they get full damage plus another half. Which means if, say, you have something is vulnerable fire damage, and you blast it with fire damage, it's taking that full damage plus half. But if it's immune to fire, well, it's taking 0 damage. And 0 damage is bad damage. 1 damage is good damage, 0 damage is bad damage. You don't want to do 0. Beginning at 10th level, when you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can make 1 weapon attack as a bonus action. If the cantrip dealt damage, you make this attack with advantage. Which means, if you have a damaging cantrip, you always want to use that damaging cantrip. Because cantrips are free. And having advantage without using reckless attack is always good. Because reckless attack forces you to get advantage on you, while ancestral guidance allows you to get advantage without getting advantage on you, which is really good. Because you always want at least 1 or 2 damaging cantrips. And of course your cantrips can be whatever you want. I believe in this it never said anything about you being forced to have a cantrip that isn't, any cantrip of your choice. So, Immortal Birthright. Beginning at 14th level, you gain the ability to sprout a pair of wings from your back, gaining a flying speed equal to your current speed. The wings, either feathered, dragon-scaled, leathery, or nightmarish, take the form of your ancestor. You can create these wings as a bonus action on your turn. They last until you dismiss them, As a bonus action on your turn, you can't manifest your wings while wearing armor unless the armor is made to accommodate them, and clothing not made to accommodate your wings might be destroyed when you manifest them. Additionally, you have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. So, because of the advantage of spells, well, if you're playing a barbarian, you want to be wearing barely any clothes. You don't want to be wearing armor, but you need specially made clothes so your clothes aren't destroyed. I assume people wear pants. And so we come to the Bard Colleges. And because this is the Bard Colleges, and because it took like an hour to talk about the barbarians, I think this... Instead of reading through this, I'm just going to read about the bonus professors. Instead of reading like the little lore diatribe about colleges, I'm just going to read stuff with different skills, colleges of bards. College of Discord. And no, not the application known as Discord, but of chaos. Discord means chaos, right? Of course it does. When you join the College of Discord at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with medium armor and one additional musical instrument. Melodic Mayhem. Beginning at 3rd level, you gain the ability to use your musical instruments effectively in martial combat. When you wield the musical instruments in one or two hands and no other weapons, it becomes a weapon that deals 1d6 bludgeoning and has the versatile property, which deals 1d8 when you hold it in two hands. When used in one hand, it gains the finesse property, which means you add your dexterity instead of your strength. As long as it's higher, of course. You want to deal as much damage as possible. Wielded with two hands, your armor class increases by 2. Well, if you hold your ukulele like a bat with +2 AC, and you hit someone with 1d8 strength. So, I mean, your bard is also level 4 and already has their subclass, so you can't really go on College Discord. Unless you make a new character. But Talija, or however that's said. Because, English is hard. Also at 3rd level, you're able to anticipate the rhythm of battle and adjust to disrupt the flow of your enemies. I feel you, Tria, because I almost died several times in those one-shots, so I know that pain. As a bonus action on your turn, you can choose to teleport to an unoccupied square adjacent to any number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you. Any large or smaller creatures within 5 feet of your new location must succeed on a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Oh, so you were fighting, and because your grandmother told. Oh, that that's kind of terrible. At 6th level, the radius of this effect increases to 10 feet and to 15 feet at 14th level. Not dying when you're talking to your grandma is always a great thing. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier and regain all extended uses after you finish a short or long rest. Finesse is a weapon trait where you add your dex instead of strength for hitting and dealing damage with the weapon. So I'm going to go with, if you have, say, a 12 dexterity, say 12 strength, with like a +1 modifier, and say 14 strength, dex 14 for dexterity modifier of 2, you would want a finesse weapon, so you could add the +2 to hits and deal damage with that weapon instead of a +1 from your strength. If you understand what I'm saying. Basically, you use dexterity if higher instead of strength. Just like Hexblades would use charisma if it's higher than their strength or dexterity. Because they're a hexblade, but they get to do that because they're a hex warrior trait. As part of this bonus action, you can expend one of your uses of Bardic Inspiration, rolling a Bardic Inspiration die and adding the number rolled to the save DC. You can choose to use this feature after the creature makes its roll, but before the DM announces if it succeeds or fails. Which means, after the creature rolls, its save DC, you roll your Bardic Inspiration, which could be a 1d6 or so, and add that to the total DC. Before the Dungeon Master announces if they succeeded or failed. And if they were about to succeed before you rolled the Bardic Inspiration, and then you rolled Bardic Inspiration and they failed, well, then the DM gets to tell you that they failed because of that roll. Otherwise, you're SOL. Encore. At 6th level, every success fuels your performance. When you succeed on a strength, dexterity, or constitution saving throw in combat, you gain advantage on your next skill check, saving throw, or attack roll until the end of your next turn. Additionally, your attacks with musical instruments count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks damage. I would say Encore becomes really good, especially now you don't need a magic weapon. You get something better than a magic instrument. Pandemonium. Okay, the penultimate skill of the College of Discord Bards. At 14th level, you learn to provoke the area around you by amplifying the clash of arms and flailing bodies. trumpeting your allies to hasten attack while sending their enemies into despondent chaos that is audible within the 300 feet of you. Using your action to activate this feature, you create a hypersonic field that reverberates out from you in a 30-foot cone, which requires concentration and lasts for 1 minute. When the field appears, friendly creatures within the field experience a haste-like effect and a +2 bonus to AC, have advantage on dexterity saving throws, and gain an additional action on each turn. Which gets really broken really fast with everything's at 14 level. And fighters have tons of fucking attacks by then. Guess what? There goes 20 attacks in one turn. That action can be used only to take the attack action. One weapon attack only. Oh, one weapon attack. So you can't dual wield. You can't do the dual wield attack. You can only use the one weapon. Dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action. A creature can. Yeah, but Tria, this Pandemonium is 14th level, and you're only 4th. So, unless GC plans on getting your players to 14th level, you're never going to get here. A creature can only benefit from one such effect at a time. When you concentrate on this effect, your speed is 0, and you can only make melee attacks against creatures within 5 feet of you. You have a fly speed or are held in place by magical beings who can hover in place. Additionally, when a hostile creature starts its turn within the field or moves there for the first time, it must make a wisdom saving throw or be affected for the duration. Affected creature speed is halved, takes a -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws, and can't use reactions. On an affected creature's turn, it can either use an action or a bonus action, not both. Regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, you can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during this turn. If the creature attempts to cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, roll a d20. On 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn, and the creature must use its action on that turn to complete the spell. You can't dispel as wasted. If the creature affected by this feature exits the field, the effect ends for it at the start of its next turn. Yes. It does. It literally disables multi-attack, and they can't take bonus actions or do attack of opportunities or any of their reactions. You can only do one bonus action or one attack action, not both. Basically, yes. When your solo ends, you can't move or take actions until after your next turn. As a wave of exhaustion sweeps over you, once you use this feature, you must finish a long rest before you can use it again. So, here's the College of Keys. And my throat is getting sore. I think I'm getting sick. I don't know. I hope not. Anyway, that is reading through all 3 barbarian subclasses and the College of Discord. Bard. I'm gonna take your advice, Kriya, because I don't feel like I will be able to continue talking for any amount of time. Also, if you're wondering how I have this, this is the wallpaper thing, right? Yeah, wallpaper engine on Steam. Yeah, I hope I'm not getting sick either. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a good time, and I will see you all next time. Hopefully, I'm not sick on Wednesday, because I hope to continue more with Xanathar's Lost Notes and everything else. So take care, and peace.